Testing of the testicles of testicles of testicles.
Testiana. 1, 2, 3. It's me,
Testina.
and Bambi.
Bonjour. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Ça va?
Bonjour. Wait.
Hola. Bonjour.
I was trying to think of another way to say it, but
What's going on? Greetings, Shia. Oh, ni hao.
ni hao.
Ni hao. Not shishi.
Ni hao, cha. But what's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? We're back
With another installment.
Another episode in another week of Transparent Energy,
The podcast.
with your favorite hostesses with the mostesses. Jordan. No, babe.
The Jordan.
No,
The
yeah.
lovely lady Baby D.
And me, Jordan. And look, we are live all the way from the
215
Where It Gets Silly.
in Philly.
In the words of our good girl Samantha James. Sleep well continuously, darling. But anyway, we're back. And again, we have a nice, great episode, of course. We always have a fun-filled episode for you guys, full of information, full of light, full of laughter, full of love, of course. And guess what? We can't go any further. We can't start any of our episodes without, of course, pushing in the atmosphere and blessing our pod with positive words of affirmation, because you guys know, as we always say, that once you start speaking positive over yourself, over your life, those around you, and your circumstances, the more you start saying it, the more you start believing it, and the more you start believing it, the more you start seeing it, and then you start receiving it. Hello?
Hello.
So that's what
You
we
sold
want.
that.
Okay,
I
that's
sold
it.
it. I want some of that.
Stutter.
I want some of that.
Without a stutter.
You can put that in a
You can't
mason
say
jar,
without a
baby.
stutter. I'm getting
What-
better.
Without a stutter, but don't forget the stutter, man.
The girl fucking shout out to Jim Jones. But again, y'all, let's go. So let me start this week because my girl has been starting dance to the back to back. I'm gonna start this week. Okay. And these really became a city just like that. I could not understand. It hit me hard this weekend. So we are dependable.
We are dependable.
We are honest.
We are honest.
We are trustworthy.
We are trustworthy.
And in your words, we lead with love.
We lead with love. I love that. Like, it's so crazy. That's so crazy because I was going, it took everything in me not to write that down today.
Really?
Everything in me, because I'm like, I know the viewers are, even though
I
I
would
would
say it. But no, that's what we.
but I will never stop leading with love.
Because we have to say it over and over again.
Right,
Because there's gonna be some episodes where we say the same thing.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's always going to be the
repeat it.
moments. We got to, just a
gotta
reminder.
keep it still.
Yeah.
It's in your mind. The more you say it, the more you say it, the more you start seeing it, and you start seeing it, believing it, all that. Go ahead.
Okay, so this week for me, it's been a week. Oh, and I'm just summing up today. So,
Go ahead.
so I'll begin with, once we go back, we're in for a treat.
Once we go back, straight.
And I should have added on to that because we're always under attack. That's what I should have.
Always under his head, and it's hard to go back. I mean, it's hard
No,
not to go back.
right. It's hard not to go back.
Because it's hard. We so used to certain things. Feelings, breaking them chains and breaking them.
But that breath of fresh air,
When you do,
when that window get the cracking,
yeah, you got just.
what's for us will not miss us.
What's for us will not miss us.
Oh, we will go where the love is.
We will go where the love is.
We are designed perfectly different.
We are designed perfectly different.
And finally, when God isolates us, it's for a divine purpose.
When God isolates us, it's for divine purpose.
That's real.
Definitely have been having my time isolation, but I actually like it now because there's been a lot. I've spent many years around people, like in like how we were
For
saying,
the wrong people.
yes, the wrong people too. But again, I've spent a lot of years being around, especially in my trans years. I've spent a lot of years being around groups of people, like friends, living with people. It's always been a group of us, or just a lot of us, and it has been. At first, it was a little scary and not, because I'm not used to it. But when you start to realize that, again, like that piece of solid, like that piece and that solid. Well, first of all, when, like I said, when God does isolate you, you start to get closer to God, because that's one of the reasons that God isolated me. And God had to take everything away from me, friends, the job at one point, a lot of different stuff, the habits, the addictions, the certain things that He had to take away at the moment that helped me to focus more on the relationship that I had to build even more with God on a daily, which helped me start loving myself even more, and which started helping me change my environment. So, again, it's just really,
It's really, individually, everyone's, like we always say, own experience. Because, a lot of times I feel, with my relationship is I have learned that we get pulled into isolation for many reasons.
Mhm.
And a lot of times it's because it's many reasons. I may not get pulled into isolation for the same reason that you may have gotten pulled into it.
Right, yeah, no.
I just think it's now is the time where it's like you can't ignore it. I'm running into people that I once knew, and just to hear them talk about a change of lifestyle and things like that, it makes me raise an eyebrow.
We've been talking about it. Like I said, we've been talking about it a lot. And like I said, and even speaking of that, it's so crazy because I had just was because it's one of these influencers that I follow, and she has a big following. She had just posted the other day a video of her. It was a like kind of like a get ready with me video, but instead it was like a come watch me stock my pantry kind of situation.
Okay.
And everything that she packed her refrigerator with, her pantry with was
Fruits and vegetables.
no. That's what we thought. That's what I thought. But it was all the snacks that we've been telling people to stay away from. Yes, all the chips, all the snacks, all the cakes, all the pies. I mean, everything. And all I could see is bio. All I kept saying was bioengineering. That's all I just kept seeing in my head, like how much. And I had put underneath the comment, and my comment got a lot of likes, because I had put underneath, not just me, but a couple other people put like, I wish us as a people would really see how these snacks, these foods are really unhealthy for us now. It's not only have the unhealthy ingredients, but like I said, the bioengineer ain't unhealthy ingredients. It's not. This is what's causing the cancer. This is causing the different diseases inside that's making us have to go to the hospital in these places. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes, like I'm just learning, like for like for me, being grounded, like in the source, with spirit, it's just like I start to see things for exactly what it is. And when we're talking about snacks and how vibrant the colors are and everything, so, sometimes I think watered down, like, and just with Earth, and when you think in the rainforest or stuff, or like in the oceans, the most colorful fish, the most colorful creatures are usually the most poison,
I'm about to say the most deadly.
the most deadly. You know, it's so right. So psychologically,
it seems like it always goes with
it's
the most beautiful thing is the things you have to watch out for sometimes.
Yes, yeah.
Like how I with the apple. I think it started from me.
No, not.
It was a beautiful apple, and they wanted it. So whatever.
Well, was it an apple? Well, I don't know.
Yeah, because we don't know if it was. They really can't prove for real. No one knows what it was. It was they just know it was fruit from a tree. But anyway, baby. Anyway, how was your week, Frank? Because you always ask me how it was mine. It looked beautiful today.
Thank you. Thank you.
But how was your week, though?
My week was good. I don't know. I've been tired lately, but I think it's probably. I'm trying. I will try to water it down to what I've been eating, but I haven't really steered off of
Your basics.
yeah.
But you have been eating some of my things too.
That one time you came over and I was eating bugles
Child,
and you that one time I was eating bugles because
No, but I'm just mad because I literally just had to throw something away too, like a couple things away because I just looked on it and said I have to get it right away. And I know we're not gonna be able to catch everything, but if I can catch it, I'm catching it. I don't want all that stuff in me. I don't know, and I'm so glad I never felt like this before. I never did.
Well, then
but it's obviously something that's waking up because it's like we cannot
ignore it.
You cannot ignore it. And
right.
I don't want to be unhealthy like that. Like, if that really is the truth, like, I don't want to be unhealthy like that.
Then do the 3-day fruit diet.
Well,
3 days of fruit. Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Today, because I really honestly do need to go a little fast. I could use that.
I'm so serious.
Well, that's why I said we can start about,
what? No, I'm
trying to see which day because I'm not gonna lie because I want to see which day. So I know what fast but probably like to start.
We'll figure it out, and we're gonna definitely let you guys know
how it went,
how it's gonna go,
yeah.
And
because it might still be playing out around the time before if we smart. Because remember I gotta work, so but it's season be.
And I can't really got to do with eating.
No, what I'm saying is, see, that might work better for me because I'll be at work. I just can't drink coffee.
Yeah, you have to drink what? Water. Yeah.
Me too. Like, at work. But I can do that. Then I said, and work
or make smoothies.
I might even gotta fall back on.
We'll figure it out. I
might even gotta fall back on it
because what? Because it's to make you eat after all these years. Yeah. I guess so, because it still makes me giggle. It still makes me munchies. I don't even think I be getting the munchies anymore. I think I just be getting bored at my song and just be wanting to eat. Because I can't, like, the last thing I probably had was them bugles when you came over.
As far as the bio.
As far as
you probably haven't been looking. Probably.
Yeah. He might eat.
He said, "Here, babe, stick it in your mouth." And she was like, "Yeah, thanks, babe."
But look, what I think is cute is sometimes you rub off on people, and I think that's really cute. So he calls himself getting like flatbread.
Don't they kind of? This is crazy.
Get a flatbread and
so crazy.
Avocado oil and stuff.
No,
like
but that's
that.
good. Like I said, because no, for real, it's time.
But I think it's awesome,
and that's good because that shows that you're putting a good influence on someone, right? You know, they're doing the right thing.
It's like I got these veggie burgers. Well, what kind are they? Because
a lot of this veggie stuff and vegan stuff is processed too. Be careful. Because they just was saying, I just was seeing a post too. They just like a lot of people think they staring off by getting this and the other, and it's very processed too.
Yeah,
and I ain't gonna lie. If it's at my job, I'll be like, how some people be thinking that they eat healthy.
They not. And look, you can.
I put damn, but I'm still working. But again.
We can get as close. We can get close. We can do a lot of things to prevent getting sick. I think that's one of the things. I think that's one of the things that should be key focus in our lives right now on some,
Really, no, for real, seriously, no.
Alongside with the up and up.
And we don't know where life is going, y'all. They got lab grown meat is literally in the States, and we live in the state. And sorry, but because America, I've just become awoken to this stuff too. Like, America, why are you doing this stuff? Y'all don't want us to eat healthy. Y'all are like, why would y'all really approve lab grown meat?
Because they done killed all the damn meat.
They done killed the livestock.
They done killed all the livestock. Remember?
And the farms, yeah, so they can.
Why would they do that? Why would they do that? This is trash. But it's real. But you're right. We got to get the heck out of here. Like,
for real. I really don't listen where it's like the fruits fall tree.
Well, Kenya had extended their arms to any. I know. But.
They don't like anything good.
But no, they actually extended. They basically opened their country and basically said if any Americans can get over there, they can guarantee them, I guess what they call it, asylum, some type of freedom. I don't want to say freedom because it's like I don't know what to call it, but sanctuary. But they open their country, no passport or something like that.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely whatever you do, jump on it soon before they try to restrict us from. Let me just shut up. Before they try to restrict us from, you know how they do. They never know what America's up to.
Yes, we do. If we pay attention, we can beat them because they doing the same old tricks,
same old tactics, and a lot of it's just scare tactics, like how we said before. A lot of it's just scare tactics, but we said still got to keep our minds aware and focused. And but anyway, let's jump into some hot topics. What you got?
Well, this week, you know how we always talk about how America, the U.S. dollar is collapsing. It's done. Well, it's done.
Like, okay, so let's make it clear. Like, is it like done? Like, there's no need of having the money, or is it like I still don't get it.
Okay.
To a certain degree.
Okay, so
it just don't have no value.
Basically, the new money called BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa have come together with gold backing their new currency.
That's why gold costs so much now.
Called BRICS.
Yep.
And what that basically means, it means a lot. Basically, one of the things that it means is capital inflation. For example, a $200 pair of Jordans that we know it.
Could go up to 3.
Could go up to what?
3, 4, 5.
$2,500.
What?
Yes. The BRICS new currency money that is out now, it's already circulating in several countries, is scheduled to be set over here in November. Between the end of August and November, they don't have a concrete date yet. However, they say 55 BRIC dollars. 55 American dollars is equal to 1 BRIC dollar.
What?
Yes. So it's like everything. We're always the last to find out. We're always the last to find out. There is information out there. If you're not familiar with what I'm saying, but it's called BRICS, BRICS. That is the new currency. That is the new money being already circulated.
I did see something about that. I'm glad you. Cause like I said, the stuff is coming.
Yeah, and
I've been like I said.
I've been warning you guys, get your money out the banks, and now I kind of know why. Because when this currency, like I said, when it hits us, the prices, everything is going to go up. Everybody, it's going to come to a point, literally, where we're going to have to start. If you don't know how, learn how to do agriculture. Learn how to grow stuff.
Learn telling you all that.
Learn how to, if you have. It's not even talents anymore. I'm gonna start calling it crafts. If you sew, you know what I'm saying? If you're good with herbs and medicines and stuff, it's time to start like creating and making your own everything.
Creating your brands, creating your stuff, creating your like I said, because in the end of the day, like how we just saying too, like this is the time to start doing whatever has been placed on your heart to do, to build, to show, to grow. Like, it's the time is now. Like I said, because again, we don't know. Yo, the ice, like I was watching TV earlier, he said earlier, like the glaciers in Alaska are melting.
They're fiercely melting.
Fiercely melting to the ball.
Actually, it's melting so fast that they've even changed the name. Wasn't we just talking about this? Global warming. That's what they changed.
Global burning.
Global boiling.
That's what they
call it. Global boiling.
We're boiling at this point.
It is no longer global warming, you guys. Look it up if you think I'm joking. It's global boiling. They call it global boiling now.
And fire.
The world may have ended for some in fire. We don't there let's sum it up to we know something is about to happen.
Baby. Because for real, it's hot. It's hot, baby. It's hot. Hawaii was just on fire. Did you see that?
Maui. Yes, I did see that, and I also seen that. So I also had seen several residents give video footage.
Yeah, but it was one of like the rocks, and it was sitting over there because they had to jump in the water.
Oh no, I didn't see that, but I seen other residents on the Maui island that live there that basically said the news media is fishing and lying to people, basically saying what happened over there was not catastrophic.
It wasn't how bad.
Yes, and it is a blatant distraction. Is what several.
Yeah, that's why that's what I just said. We can't believe nothing. First of all, we already know. Watch the media, like I already say. You can't. You have to watch because they tell the media what to put out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's only but so much that we really know. And like I said, truthfully, a lot of times it don't be nothing really going on. They be talking about boiling the pot, talking about starting with boiling the pot, stirring the pot, starting it up. Doing like
the girls
America really be just starting some ish just to see people's reaction.
Just to keep us from free thinking, just to keep us from seeing exactly what they're doing, just to keep us basically distracted, from the real deal, distracted from the program in which, they push
and agendas and agendas.
Yeah, and make it seem so. I don't know. It's just becoming a bit much, but
I'm sorry. I was saying that our co-host today. We want to say because I think we want to spice it up for a little bit for once because I think we always kind of I think we'll do our first story time. And you're going to tell it, babe. You don't want to say because it was funny because I'm sorry to cut you off because I really was laughing about it. You're going to enjoy it. But it's just funny because we were just talking regular and I'm like, no, this is perfect for you to tell everybody. So we can just like.
But what was the pretenses of it?
Huh?
What was the pretense?
Like why we was even talking about it?
Yeah.
Oh, because of being self-conscious about getting clapped.
Okay.
About getting clapped.
Okay.
So we're gonna talk about always thinking that like negative because we were just talking about something and
well, we get to it when we get to it because I'm glad that stuff is dead. And speaking of dead, I learned something. I'm starting to try to. I like how that.
I love it.
So I just recently found out. Okay, you ready for this? Are you ready for this? These are some of the things that I kind of think about all the time, unconsciously, for no reason, that rent in my head for no reason. Yes, one of the things you know firsthand are the thing about the buildings.
Yes. Oh my gosh, girl. I love my friend though. Like I can't, because me and you, she's the only person. Like I said, she's the only person that we can talk to each other. That's why we're meant for each other because we can tell each other crazy stuff. Even it makes Sam bewildered, but I'm not saying she's not wrong. Like I just like to play with her. Like, girl, come on, tell me. And we walk by certain stuff. I be like, girl, then what one is that again? What you would say? Like just to see her say. I like her. I like how she goes around. Go ahead.
Okay, so cemeteries. I've always been fascinated by cemeteries, and to the extent of how do they come about? This is a multi-million-dollar industry, and there has to be something behind it. And then I came across some information. So once upon a time, like people used to bury people on their, in their backyards or in their front yards, probably in a box or whatever they did, 6 feet deep, regular, on their own property. And that was like a natural thing. No, nobody complained about it or whatever. But
So funerals really wasn't a big thing. It was like kind of like your family died.
family and
Like, how
friends.
did you go?
I mean, I was no,
Not like that, but I know what you mean.
Yeah,
like a little bit
just more
personal.
personal. Yes,
But still, in the backyard, it's like how they the
Right.
person would do like their animal they pet.
right. So
Ooh.
basically, when your family or when you bury someone in your backyard, that means that property is yours. That house is yours. You get tax write-offs. No one can take that property or that house from you. And basically, it's generational wealth. Like,
Wow.
right.
Well, how the hell do we don't know about that?
Because they came
know.
out with cemeteries, and it's basically
to stop you from doing it. So you can't keep your house
so
and
you
your
can't
land.
own in your land. Isn't that some junk? And if you look into our neighborhoods and stuff, even for me right now, I have a concrete backyard, so I wouldn't be able to do no such. Yeah, isn't that amazing information? Isn't it?
Because it puts it together why they put, like you said, they have cemeteries.
And they use
Wow,
they use that
Look,
tech.
wow.
They use that tech as a tax write off. They use, and that's where us paying taxes, house taxes, property taxes to be exact. Excuse me. That's where property taxes come from,
So,
because they're able to claim
a lot of stuff in the Constitution that we don't. That's why they don't want to teach these kids cursing. Like they said, because there's a lot of stuff in our Constitution, but kids ain't gonna look that up.
Well, a lot of
but
stuff,
a lot of stuff that we
in the
don't know about.
Constitution, not and like you said, not only that, it doesn't apply to us
right?
at all.
Right.
Which further explains why we may see a lot of, and respect my words, a lot of low class white people who may look like they be living good, but they, that low class
Really,
people,
really.
and it make, for me,
It's
sometimes
a
I
fact.
say it makes me be like, how do they get to live somewhere like that? You know what I mean? Just kind of looking and not knowing.
Mhm.
Sometimes I see like they, you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
it comes from that generational. That,
Mhm.
but isn't it amazing
That
information?
is amazing. That really just gave me, because I see it. It just really clicked. No wonder we got concrete backyards.
No wonder why
we
it's
don't
a lot of
have
cemeteries in the
And that's why
neighborhoods.
if you catch probably even down south, that's probably why a lot of people keep their homes. That's probably why a lot of people got. What? That makes sense, man. That makes so much. That makes hella sense.
Isn't that amazing?
Why they take people to the funerals and have these? Take it to the burial site. Wow.
And they make
Yo,
you pay
I'm
for that.
floored.
They make you pay for all of that. That's crazy.
To keep you from having your own.
That's the flip.
Of the script.
Isn't it mind blowing? Boom, right?
No, I'm really gagged
That's
out.
gold.
You see I'm gagged.
That is gold. I know.
Wow.
I know. You grew up in a neighborhood with cemeteries, right?
Not cemeteries.
A cemetery? Not a cemetery in the neighboring borough? Or maybe you just don't know.
No, but see, I grew up in Mount Airy area. Like I said, we're not close to I drew on the side, but I don't think the closest nearest cemetery was Firefall. Not like near my house. Because I live in
I live in a little
very middle class during that time. They didn't mix middle class. It was just very poor.
Well, yeah, I lived in a suburb. We called it a suburb.
Yeah,
and
it was, you lived there too.
But I had I remember in two surrounding boroughs there were graveyards. There were
Yeah, that makes so much
cemeteries,
freaking sense,
you know,
though.
and now it makes me feel like
Let me excuse me.
we'll never, you know, it's like,
you can't bury him on the concrete. It's concrete, so it's nowhere to bury him.
and then I think it's what zoning laws. So you'll,
Yes,
you know, you might get a house, but you still gotta ask permission to dig it up for a pool. You know, dig it up if you want to put a gazebo there.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
I mean, I know it's a bit more information that all goes and ties into it, but I was like you.
But that's enough meat right there. That's
a filet mignon.
Yes, that's an entree right there. Go ahead. Well, wait. Before we go any further, let me jump on this one.
Okay.
Because the story time is going on. What I think. You already know. It seems like every Sunday after we record, something happened the next day or that same day or something. So it's like we still in a week though. But just as recently in what was it, Montgomery, Alabama, there was it
was the Battle of Alabama.
It was the Battle of Alabama in August 5th, 2023. The Battle of Montgomery. But Alabama. But yes, it happened like at a docking place or whatever the case may be. There was prior to the recording of the people recording, one of the security guards had told a group of white guys, young gentlemen, that they had to move their boat because a boat was coming, a little carnival, like one of the little carnival boats, one of the little boats.
The ferries.
Like one of the little ferries was coming to dock up, and they had to move their boat. They couldn't park there. The young gentleman did anyway. They paid what he said.
Blatant, just rude.
Blatant rude. Prior to not even that. They blatant rude. They do what they did. So the man took matters into his hands after they left it there, and the boat was coming. He unraveled the thing and let the boat. The young gentleman came up, ran up to him, told him. They said that it was some racial slurs going on and stuff like that, but it was one black guy and like 4 white gentlemen at this time. And it got to a little argument. The guy basically was saying, what's up? Like you just say, he was giving what's up then, because they was really, I guess, disrespecting him. He was giving what's up. Look, I told y'all already. Y'all probably, you know what I mean? Y'all disrespecting me. Like y'all not listening. Look, there's a ferry. People coming. They're probably, they didn't, whatever. They jumped him. The black man threw his before they jumped him, the black man threw his hat in the air. And that was a signal, I guess. It's about to go down. They jumped the black man. The black man and one of the white gentlemen was tussling, and then all the other 3 jumped on him. Well, as they're jumping on him, a young man is swimming. I guess one of his colleagues is swimming in the water to come and help him.
I heard young boy what David a colleague. He was just
really
on the ferry, just
nobody said he was
observing. That's what I had read, that he was just observing what was going on.
Oh, so he didn't work there. So he didn't work?
Oh, I don't know.
From what I felt like, from what I know, they said that the young man worked with the man. That was his colleague.
Oh, okay.
So that's why he helped them. So when he seen it, because the ferry was still stuck in the water because they couldn't pull up. So the young man jumped in the water, swam over to help. Mind you, we later find out that he was only 16 years old. And he swam over to help his colleague, and the little young man did some work. He got his little joint in on top of not only that, but the people now is causing hysteria. Like the people saying, get him, because everybody's seen how that started off, and we already know the climate of the world we live in right now, and again, it was good to see that everybody was kind of knew what was up, because it was played out right, like how that thing with George Floyd. It played out right in front of America. So there's
somebody took action.
Yeah, somebody took action though. Somebody took action, and not only did somebody, but it sent the free for all. It was a black versus white, and them white people got what they deserved a little bit because they.
But you know what?
Because we don't condone violence.
No, we don't condone violence.
But again,
and we don't condone racism.
So much, yes, we don't condone racism.
Nor prejudice.
Yes,
nor none of that. And that's why I'm going to exactly say that. You get what you get. You get what you deserve. You get what's coming to you. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. And unfortunately, these entitled people were all the way wrong. They were in the wrong place. They were in the wrong spot.
Yep. With the wrong attitude.
They had
doing
the
wrong
things.
things. Saying the wrong things.
Saying the wrong things. You know, and
like I said, well, you already said it, the big E, entitled.
Yeah.
That's what they felt. They felt entitled that we could park in, and we later find out that their family owned a mini mart in the area. So they were a known family. And you could tell, I said, there had to be a family with some coins. Yeah.
I wouldn't give a good
family.
hoot. And
I mean, I knew that, but that's what made them, again, feel entitled to park right there.
The audacity.
And it was drunk.
The audacity of them of attacking, because you know we all seen the video, but whoever thought it was choice to be Liu Kang and run across the deck and attack that 65-year-old man, you know, just say that
was corny.
That was
now the only thing I'm going to say, because we all know that the white chair, the infamous white chair, has been going around because there was a guy that I guess got into the mold too, because it just sent waves. It was just black against white, and everybody was fighting. And this man took it upon himself. Evil. Yeah, and this man took it upon himself to start hitting a couple of white folks with this white chair. And he hit this lady and hit her kind of hard. So that's when the police, because honestly, the cops was letting the people do what they do. The cops was kind of painted, like the one black lady was acting like she was doing something. She was like, yeah. Like this little soft little shrugs, acting like she was really moving people out the way, but she was letting them get their hits in because people see who deserve what. And sometimes, and this, like I said, in the time that we're living in, we've already seen the injustices towards black and brown folk on the hands of the white folks. It's been going on for years and years and years.
And I think,
they said that's the new of Juneteenth. It's August 5th.
I also think one thing that we all can't ignore about the climate of these days, one thing we can't ignore, that it is not identical to any of the days in which we grew up with.
No, it's not.
Those days are long gone. Yes, we are literally in the making of history, of revelation, all of that. All of that. And unfortunately, how the black guy was attacked, the older black guy, how I see it, unfortunately, how unfortunate it was for him to get attacked, is to me equally fortunate to that older lady getting hit and struck over the head, because we don't know what type of, we don't know that lady. I don't know that lady, but I know she wasn't a saint. Right, obviously, because she was talking her prayer too. You know. And she lived many years watching and probably playing her own position. Yep, playing her part. You know, she was young during that time. Yes, what goes around comes around. Yes. So you know, there were people, that were biased on that situation. You know, they couldn't see that the black guy. They couldn't see past the fact that he was just a black guy. He was 65. You know, that's senior citizen over here, what they say, but he was 65. Okay, the older woman. Now, she might have been a little extra wrinklier because we know they age a little bit faster than us. No disrespect, it is just a genetic fact. But the reality is she was just as up in years, too. But I think the lesson in that is karma. What goes around comes around. Her karma just happened to come when she was getting off the yacht. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba, ba. No, for real, baby. For real. But yes, I think it did. And that video went viral for a couple of days, and and not just this, but you know how us black and brown folk make a joke out of everything. So of course we took this and ran with it. The chair. They said this is the only thing that they're gonna let. They normally want people to wrap certain stuff up, but this one can last a little longer and linger. Did you have to? Did you have to?
Did you have to let it linger? Yes,
Yeah, they gonna let it. Yeah,
we
because
gonna let it linger.
but they is running it out.
They
Did you
was
see the
tearing-
merchandise?
No, but wait. Before we go any, I want to express a main part because I did see this. I seen a post that expressed something that I thought was really, really true. The young man that was 16 that went to go help because they called him Aquaman. Because
They got many names for him.
he swam over there. He swam over there and got. I mean, anyways, no, I mean he got over there in like 10 seconds to help his. Like yo, y'all had this. I know y'all already seen the video, but anyway, his appearance. You would think that he was just some. You wouldn't think that he was even capable of it. First of all, he had pink dye hair, a little fro. He was a light, light brown skin. Very kind of looked like a little punk rockish kind of vibe, very emo kind of vibe, kind of like a little young boy. But he was different, and I got out of that you never know where your help is coming from. Don't block your blessing because of the person, the messenger, and who it's coming from, because you never know who God might send your way. And see, so many of us got our prejudices. So many of us don't like this person. I wouldn't sit with this person. I wouldn't take that from that person. I wouldn't da 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 da. But you never know who God might send with the blessing that you need, and they might look completely opposite from what you might even accept or like or whatever.
But that's how exactly it's going to be.
Yes, that's how it's. Yeah, I believe that's going to be. It's going to be a lot of them stories in this season because that played out so perfectly, especially in the climate that we've also been in with this LGBTQ stuff, or just the way they have been just going in it with just anyway. Not saying he was gay because we're not going to put that on him, but just the way he looked, you know what I mean? He was different. You know what I'm saying? And again, you never know where your help is going to come from.
Right. I mean,
you're not going to say that he was gay.
Right. And I don't think it's
he was gay.
Well, no, we're not even going to be fixated on his hair because the fact that he did something upstanding and outstanding,
and helped
he overstood every single man who.
It was like
David
and Goliath.
Had it in him.
It was like David and Goliath.
He jumped off a moving ferry into the water. He exceeded every single person, being, and everything on that ferry. So, it's not a matter about what his hair. It's not a matter of. It's really ain't about his age. It's pay attention to this person.
Yes.
This person was
That's a big message in there.
Yeah.
You never know who's gonna help you. So y'all better stop. For real, you never know. Like, I get it. We all don't, like, we're not gonna like everything we come across. We don't like everybody. We're not supposed to like everybody. But again, there's a thing about just respecting people and letting people live their life. If you don't like it, look, turn your head the other way.
And most of all, don't say anything.
Yeah.
Don't. This is something that I'm not struggling with it.
Table kitchen talk.
Yeah.
Keep it in the house.
Keep it in the house.
Because people, like I said, y'all don't be satisfied to what happened to you one day, and then y'all be so. But I don't be feeling bad. Like, you can't feel bad for a person that's out here doing it too. Don't you do it?
Mm-hmm. I was about to say because a lot of times, like we really, and this is coming from me and what I'm actually going through. Like. Reflecting, we are really reflecting our own insecurities, whether we think we're not, whether we don't know it or not, but we are, and
speaking of insecurities, let's go into your story time because we were just keying earlier about, because I have a tendency to always go, like, when I think certain things or certain people act a certain kind of way, I believe that it's because we got clout. Or a person got clout, or they just know it's here, or just how people treat people of our kind. You know how the girls do. That's that's my favorite line. You know how the girls do, how they do what they do when they do what they do when they do it. So people is just funny acting, but I always think that in my mind. But sometimes people don't even be like. But go ahead, tell your story.
Okay, so of course, but insecurities are. I think they grow so we can learn to deal with them.
Right.
Because if we just look at what God throws us as one thing, like blessings, 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 we will miss everything else He's trying to, throw our direction too. So I think a lot of times when girls like us will, get to that point where we get insecure in our transition, that cat calling, that, getting spooked is really, I learned for me, it's not really a bad thing. It's to keep me on my toes. So back in the day, I used to go to this place in Germantown, and it was a Jamaican spot. And
Hey, I know what they say about the
you know what and I actually liked it. But this one particular night, I went with my cousin Asia, shout out, and she always had this thing. She always had this thing about me kind of following her, being all up on her, because she never did like that or whatever. I could be cool up until I go out, but as soon as I get around the people, I start having social rings. I start kind of sweating or whatever. So
and we don't know what this is called, so now.
Right. And so whoever I was around, I had to literally be all up.
Like arm to arm.
Like, yeah. And that used to irk Age. She's like, girl, get off me. Like, go ahead, do your thing. So I'm trying to get all comfortable, give me a little drink. And I'm drinking and I'm feeling a little loose and I'm hearing my little songs. A guy even came up and started dancing with me and everything. So I'm there as I'm dancing with him and I turn around and I see this thick lady just looking at me, and she's just looking at me, y'all, like, and it's that look. Like, if you one of the girls, you know that look. It's she trying to clock it. So, I start in my mind, I'm trying to sell it, a little bit more and whatnot, dancing with the guy and stuff.
The free cutty we. Right,
doing my thing, feeling it. Mind you, got me and the guy dancing. I happen to turn around, again, and she looking right dead at me, except she in a different spot. you know. So I'm feeling like this chick is like, yeah, she's surveilling the bitch, like she really surveilling me in a different spot, right? Now, mind you, when I first seen her, she was just off to the side of the bar. Now, when I seen her, she was in the corner next to the DJ. So by this time, I drank a little bit of my drink. I had to go to the bathroom. So I grabbed Age. I'm like, come on, let's go to the bathroom. I need to go to the bathroom, freshen up, or whatever. So we in the bathroom. And I'm telling her, I'm like, girl, I think they know. Like, this lady keep looking at me and she know, like, I don't, mind you, like, the drinks is in. So I'm looking at my reflection and everything. And I'm not seeing how I looked when I came out. Like, it's not matching. The reflection wasn't reflected at all. Like, and I'm telling my cousin who I came there with, like, they know, cuz. So my song come on and, I'm singing Kim, I forgot what the song was. I think it was How Many So she all like, calm down, you all, that's why you all acting like that. Like, calm down, you all giving all, So I'm like, all right, chill. I'm like, all right, I got it together. She was like, yeah, relax. Ain't nobody think about it. There's no training out there. Like, she like, ain't nobody in this bar. Ain't nobody looking at it like that. So I'm like, all right, bet, whatever, boom. So goes outside. After I get myself together, mind you, the reflecting still wasn't reflecting. Now I done patted and dabbed, but now, my cousin then gave me that confidence that I needed. Like, girl, ain't nobody worried about you. You overdoing it. Just calm down with the aggression a little bit.
Right, just chill.
So I goes back out, enjoy myself, give me another drink, start drinking it or whatever. The dude came back over to me, start dancing. We dancing, doing our thing. I happens to turn around again, and the lady is looking at me while she's talking to the DJ and shit. So she's looking at me while she talking to the DJ, and I'm just like trying to hate, like whatever, like this is she just hating,
I'm just my name.
Yeah, my life. She really hating, like she can't take it or whatever. Next thing you know, I hear the DJ over the booth like, Batman, Batty Boy, Rasclad. And now my heart is like, don't. So in this instant now, I'm trying to play it off like I'm telling myself, I'm like, okay, maybe he's just singing with the music. Maybe he's singing with the music, you know, bum bum, chi chi my God, set them fire, then we burn them. I'm in there going, I'm in there.
Oh, God.
Girl, by this time, I knew that they knew. They knew. I knew that they knew. And when I had turned around, my cousin Asia was huddled next to me. Like, cuz I think they know.
That's all you know, man.
Oh, God. Ducking and stuff. I'm like, she like, oh. I'm like, I'm telling her, I'm like, I told you they knew. Like, I'm telling her, I'm like, I told you. Security, the DJ was like, next thing you know, I lied to you not. I will call Asia right now on the phone. The DJ was like, security, lock the doors. Bitch, it was over. I kicked off the shoes and I couldn't find the exit fast enough. Because at that time in my mind, that they had already pulled out the machetes and the guns and they was locking me in. And they was doing that. But the reality was that it was already after 2 o'clock and bars closed at 2 o'clock. So they was just clearing it out. But
Just
all in all,
like you said, but it also happened too by you attracting that negativity at first to you, thinking that they knew what was already up. Thinking, like you said, because it wasn't given there at first. Like how because I've been reading a book called The Secret. Actually, speaking about it, because I believe if I'm put on, I actually put on, especially with certain things that help us. The Secret. I know a lot of y'all probably seen this on. I know a lot of y'all probably seen this on like YouTube or have seen. It's a good.
there we go, just like that, It's called The Secret.
Yeah, by Rhonda Byrne. Anyway, but this talks about just a lot about the law of attraction and like how we say even like how we were saying in the beginning, you know, when we because as people I know that we've been conditioned to just speak all kind of things, say all kind of stuff, and we don't be realizing again the power of our words. Y'all know that we always say this, you know, like it really is true. I really like as much as we're saying this to y'all, we're also saying this to ourselves to keep it in here because it really like you don't know that your words hold so much. Your future is in your mouth. And whatever you say, it can really come true, especially if you believe it. It will come true. And I just been learning a lot about just attracting and knowing how to not attract and knowing when to, you know what I mean? How you gotta cut them thoughts out. You know, when they come, you gotta tackle them right away. Because like you said, even in that moment, like I said, sometimes when you being negative like that, you don't even be realizing, like how your cousin said, "I worried about." Like nobody probably really was worried about you until after you started paying attention to what the other woman was looking. It's a very questionable looking to make it woman. So that ain't it. But like you said, it probably was what you was attracting. And then also seeing her, she made you a little bit uncomfortable, which is only human. You know what I'm saying? Because that's you're like, well, why is she looking at me?
Right. But I had to learn, like, in that insecure state of mind with those negative thoughts, I manifested in a sense that exact outcome.
Yep.
You know, in my mind, I was telling myself they know T, and they. When I spoke it to my cousin, when I whispered it, sometimes it's like you said, what comes out, you can keep it in here and you can kill it in here too.
Yeah, right. But when you speak it, baby,
yeah. It's hard. And so when I whisper, you know, they know. I now I'm able to look back and see just how real all of this and everything is connected. When I spoke that negativity, my cousin didn't even realize her positivity was supposed to counter it. It did counter it, and I was supposed to rest on it.
Yep. And they probably would have paid.
Right. Yep. And the distraction I allowed myself to fall easily into that insecurity, you know, when I don't know, like I said, when we locked eyes again. Now that I'm that's how she was looking, like, you don't belong here.
Body boy to get out.
Yeah, you know. But now when I think about it, it probably it could have been that on a small scale, but where I'm at now,
no, like not like
in my journey, you know, I think that if I was a grown woman, I probably, you know, it could have been anything. Who this little young girl thinking who she is?
Yeah, it could have been.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
you know, sometimes us paying attention to sometimes stuff that we don't need to be. Like I said, our minds be places because, like I said, and I'm still learning to get out of that. Because I'm telling you, when I say, yo, I'm not gonna give them that much satisfaction, but sometimes the thoughts be.
We can say they're intrusive.
Yes, them intrusive thoughts ain't nothing to play with. And they will
maybe
really have you thinking some kind of, and you don't even be thinking that.
And it's not easy to control, but you can learn to handle it. For somebody, well, for me, I think for about 10 years now, and this is something, and it goes into being honest, as your affirmation said. One thing that I learned, and I actually had heard it off, and I'm gonna say about 10 years ago, because that was probably one of the last times I did a long bid. Yes, jail. And I used to listen to the Steve Harvey show, and I always thought his words were very inspirational. But about 10 years ago, he had said something, and I had took it, and what that was anytime that I had an intrusive thought, and it was lingering in my mind, I had to tell myself to annul that thought, and and I do that with every thought that I don't want to think about, that I don't want it to grow and start giving me feelings because it's a thought to the point where I have to start talking about it. But that worked for me. Like I've literally learned to, when I get an intrusive thought, instantly tell myself, right in that thought, I annul this thought, and I'm not thinking about it anymore. You know what I mean? And we just have to learn to be able to, you know,
in the moment,
to do it in the moment, to
so
catch,
easier said than done.
to catch ourselves. Oh, all right. To catch ourselves and go against the grain of the programming, and in a sense trust your own thinking. You know what I mean? Like trust your own thinking, at least to that extent. If you can't really understand your heart and everything, you know, trust your own thinking.
Yeah.
You know,
instinct, like I said, because it will, if you really follow it and really press into it and see what, it will take you where you need to go. Like I said, like how they say sometimes, that gut feeling, that be telling you the truth. And a lot of times we go against our word, but just importance, like I said, as we wrapping it up, just importance of really changing how we think and what we say. Because really, what you think and what you say really changes what you're like. A lot of times, like, we don't realize that a lot of our situations are something that we manifest.
Yeah,
and not even knowing in the moment, like, and it's manifested that because you saying crazy stuff in the midst of being angry or being, like I said, that's why they always say in the midst of being angry, don't do nothing. You gotta really like tell yourself, if you gotta walk away, if you gotta shut yourself in the door, in the room, in the bathroom or something, like close the door for a couple minutes, something. So people like, I gotta really step away before I make a wrong decision. Hold yourself accountable for that, because a lot of times we say the most craziest stuff or do the most stupidest stuff in the moment of being angry and can't take it back. Some people are in jail right now for life for doing something in a moment of being upset and not thinking.
People aren't even alive anymore.
Yes, because of not thinking. You know, like in a moment of being angry and upset. Like, for real. You gotta take that into consideration, guys. For real. But you already know you already know how we do it here. We will keep it real. We keep it 100 all the time with y'all. And so we up here to help. Look, we all in this journey together. Look, we learning as we up here recording. We learning too with y'all. Like I said, because we want y'all to know and grow as well. Because look, we can't just keep it to ourselves, keeping the secrets to ourselves. No, because a lot of us got so much in us that needs to come out. So much things that needs to change. We got a lot of really great futures and really great things that could really happen for us if we stop being stuck where we
And
used to be at. And, you know, really break out of that comfortability, start disciplining ourselves. I know it's hard, but we can do it. You can.
And if you stay tuned, transparent energy is going to make sure you see it through. Because over here, we lead with love. Because love is always the message.
And like you already know, do something positive for someone else and speak beside yourself. And stay up. Smile.
Ciao.
Ciao.